It's like the worst. Oh, hey, fourth graders. I love writing letters, right? But when you have to lick all of the envelopes, have you guys ever done that? It's like the worst taste ever. That kind of makes me think of the story we're about to start today. It is called A Tale of Two Poggles, and it is so crazy. I can't wait to get started on this story with you. I want to start talking about it, but I don't want to give it away. So we better just go ahead and get started. It's called A Tale of Two Poggles, and it kind of has to do with these envelopes because there's a factory in the story that makes envelopes. So let's get started. I wanted to look at this picture. I kind of put this little one in here too, because it shows you the two different Poggles we're going to learn about, because there's two of them, right? There's Upper Poggle, and look at how these birds look, right? And she's over here, this guy's over here in Upper Poggle. Then you have Nether Poggle, and it's this with this lady and this bird. And I know you guys can make a little inference and think, what do you think Nether Poggle is like, where our story takes place? Look at that bird. Kind of looks a little bit like a mess. So I'm wondering, what are they going to be like in that town? Vocabulary, Miss Lawson's favorite. So, starting with an engineer. Some of you might already know what an engineer is, and that's okay. It is a person who plans, builds, or maintains complicated machines. Mrs. Lawson would not be good at this. As you can see, this person's working on a machine. I'm not good at machines, but that is a really cool job. If that interests you at all, you should totally do it. So we'll have an engineer, something about an engineer in the story. And then scornful, I didn't tell you what that one meant because I think you could figure it out. The actress gave the paparazzi a scornful look or a glare before breezing on by them. So the actress breezed on by without acknowledging the paparazzi, and it looked like this guy's face. So what does scornful mean? I think they're better than everybody, right? You guys probably figured that out. So I challenge you to do a sentence with engineer and scornful and show it to your teacher, guys. I can't believe today is the last day of work. You guys have killed it this year. I'm so proud of you all. What we're learning today, we are going to analyze the main characters in the story. So you'll know you're successful today when you can identify the characters. I don't know if they'll get to this problem yet, right? So those other parts of that will come later. I thought it'd be cool to look at the contents, the table of contents in the story, because I loved this picture. So it says, Chapter 1, No Fun in Nether Poggle. Prize or punishment? So prizes or punishment. Grabber's greed, fun at the factory, bright ideas, and happy Poggles. So, what could be happening in this story? I'm not sure yet. So let's go ahead and grab our arrow and get that ready because we're about to hop right into this story. It's one of my favorites. That's why we had to start it. I know it's the last day. You're like, Mrs. Lawson, why on earth would you be starting a new story today? And I'm telling you, it's because this is one of the coolest and craziest stories. Once you start learning about Nether Poggle, you'll understand why. So it says, No Fun in Nether Poggle. Once there was a small town called Nether Poggle, and I wish I could tell you that it was a lovely place to live, but it wasn't. Most Nether Poggle people were bored, or sad, or both, and this is why. In the middle of the town was a factory called Grabber's Envelopes. All day, every day, Grabbers made envelopes, brown, gray, and white ones, from the largest to the teeniest, and all sizes in between. They made nothing else, only envelopes, and thousands of envelopes were made in that factory every week and sent away to the shops. Factory was long and gray and looked a bit like an envelope itself. So this is the factory right here. I can see it kind of looks like an envelope. Pretty, oh, that's so sad looking at these people though. They look really sad. Get my arrow. Most of the adults in Nether Poggle worked at Grabber's Envelopes. They didn't like it there because the work was boring. The factory was cold, and they didn't get paid very much. But there weren't many other places to work nearby. There was no train station in Nether Poggle, and not even a bus stop, so people in Nether Poggle were stuck. Can you imagine that being stuck? That'd be crazy. There was one person in Nether Poggle who could have made the whole town much, much happier. Her name was Gloria Grabber, and she was the mayoress of Nether Poggle, which made her very important. She had the power to decide what happened in the town. Gloria Grabber was tall and thin and always very beautifully dressed. She owned the envelope factory, and if you ever wanted to do anything new or different in Nether Poggle, you had to ask her first. I don't know, looking at her, I don't know if I'd really want to ask her any questions. She looks a little scary. Can we have a children's playground in Nether Poggle? No, it would cost far too much money. Can we have a bus ride to the beach one day in the summer? And take a day off work? Certainly no. Certainly not. Can we have wireless connection in town or a cafe with internet access? What? Gloria Grabber hated the internet more than anything, and Nether Poggle did not have access to the internet because she wouldn't allow it. She hated cell phones too, so there were no cell phone towers near Nether Poggle, which meant cell phones didn't work there. Pause. No internet, no cell phones. Can you imagine? Moment of silence for them. Cell phones didn't work there. She said that nobody should send emails or text messages. They should write letters by hand, put them in envelopes, and mail them. In Nether Poggle, even postcards had to be sent in envelopes. When Nether Poggle school sent letters home to the children's parents, every single page had to be in its own individual envelope. Getting a little crazy now, guys. Gloria Grabber made the rules, and what she loved most was money and envelopes. She had always made money by selling envelopes. Boy. One wet morning in February, Gloria Grabber went to Nether Poggle School to talk to the children at an assembly. She looked very sternly down at them and talked for much too long about the importance of good handwriting, hard work, and putting letters in envelopes. But not all the children were listening. I like looking at some of these too. Mr. Moggle, Dismal Alley, Nether Poggle. Remember, no cell phones. Alejandro and Nina certainly weren't listening. So if I looked in the crowd, I could see the kids who aren't listening. Oh, it's probably Nina. She's over here thinking, and Alejandro's right here. Alejandro was daydreaming about what he wanted to be when he grew up. I could be an astronaut, he thought, as Gloria Grabber went on talking, or a pilot, or a train conductor. Either way, I definitely don't want to work in an envelope factory. There he is thinking of being on a train, being a conductor, and she's thinking about being something else. Nina was thinking about what she wanted to be when she grew up too. She wondered about being there's our word, engineer, or an inventor, or a game designer. I want to make things work. She's thought, whatever I do, I know I don't want to work in an envelope factory. And finally, said Gloria Grabber, your teachers have told me that today they want you to write a story about what you would like to be when you grow up. Nina and Alejandro's eyes suddenly lit up and they started listening. You might want to be like me and have your own factory, she said, or you might like to come and work for me. Alejandro and Nina groaned very quietly. Ugh. So off you go, children, and write your lovely stories, said Gloria Grabber, and I will give you a wonderful prize for the very best ones. Chapter 2, Prizes or Punishments. That evening, Alejandro sat at the kitchen table and wrote a long story all about flying and driving and about going into space. He wrote about driving trains up and down hills through tunnels. Nina went home and wrote all about the wonderful machines she wanted to make. Machines that whirled, rolled, whizzed, and shone. The next week, Gloria Grabber came to school to talk to the children again. I've read all your lovely, exciting stories, she said, and many of you chose to write about how much you would like to work in my factory. She paused. But I think the very best stories were written by Alejandro Mendez and Nina Penn. Everyone cheered and clapped, while Alejandro and Nina looked at each other with surprise. Gloria Grabber gave a sneaky smile. And I have such a wonderful prize for you, said Gloria with a knowing look. Alejandro and Nina wondered what the prize would be. Would it be a visit to an amusement park? Or a gift card to their favorite bookstore in Upper Poggle? Even a trip to Upper Poggle would be good. So there they are. They're like, what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? The prize, said Gloria, her smile widening, is to spend a whole day visiting my factory. Thank you very much, said Alejandra and Nina, realizing now that they had won the prize. No, why they had won the prize. They tried to sound polite. They were very disappointed. Gloria Grabber frowned at them and gave a scornful, so this guy over here, like, scornful look. I am the Lady Mayoress, she said. You may call me Madam Mayoress. Yes, Madam Mayoress, said Alejandro and Nina, but it didn't matter what they called her. It was still a really rotten prize. Never mind, said Nina to Alejandro later. I guess we'll see what our moms and dads do all day. Oh, yes, grumbled Alejandro. Sorting envelopes. That'll be fun. All right, that's the first 2 chapters, guys. So crazy. So what conclusion can we draw about the prize Alejandro and Nina win? Explain your thinking. All right, I hope that you paused that video and you thought about it a little bit. And I hope that you realize that that really wasn't a prize. All right. The mayoress was trying to get them into that factory so they would realize that this is where your life's going to go. It's kind of a punishment because she thinks she's a little better than them and that everybody needs to either be in her factory or be like her, right? And why do you think that she picked Alejandro and Nina? Yeah, it's definitely because they wrote all these big dreams of all these really cool ideas that they wanted to do, and she wanted to shut that down real quick. So she wants to crush all those dreams and make sure they know what they're set up to go work in that factory. They can't have those dreams that they want to do. All right, guys, your turn. Our final journal entry. So if you really love this book, I am planning on putting the rest of this book on my YouTube channel in the next few weeks because I want you guys to enjoy The Tale of Two Poggles. It's such a good story. So if you're loving this story like I do, check back on YouTube and just search Tale of Two Poggles and look for Mrs. Lawson. So it says, what details do you learn about the most important characters and their likes and dislikes in these chapters? So you realize probably the 3 main characters, if we look back, are going to be, if you look in the pictures, we have Alejandro right here, we have Nina down here, and then, this crazy lady right here, Gloria Grabber. My least favorite, but she is an important character in this book. So you're going to tell me what are their likes, what are their dislikes, and just what do you think about it? Would you want to live in this nether Poggle? I feel like it sounds so crazy, right? All right, 4th graders, it's been great. It's been awesome. Thank you for reading with me today. As always, have a great day.